I'll just pop it on here first because if I don't, this insufferable human being is going to chase you off, even if I tell you a stitch is coming. So just try and hang in there. I'll be right back.
What about the groceries? Have they come down yet? I don't give a fuck about grocery prices. We are exposing the corruption in this country in real time, and we're reducing government spending at the same time. Billions of dollars we are saving after we cut off funding dumb shit.
Ooh, she doesn't give a fuck about groceries. You know what she does give a fuck about? Me making a video, because she blocked me. Didn't work, though. But no one's surprised that you don't give a fuck about groceries. Normal, average Americans care about those things, but the MAGA chodes like this, all they care about is treating politics like sports and being like, yay, our team won, which is like a weird move. But let's pretend she did this in good faith. Weeding out corruption and stopping the spending of money on dumb shit, I believe is how she put it. Dumb shit, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's one of the ones being torn apart. And what do they even do? The CFPB implements and enforces a range of consumer finance laws, such as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which, among other things, helps ensure the accuracy and privacy of people's credit reports. The agency also issues and enforces financial regulations. Those sound like good things, but maybe it's an inefficient waste of money. It's funded by the Federal Reserve. But what is the return we're getting on that investment? Their operational budget proposed for 2025 is somewhere between $810 and $823 million. And that's a lot of money in real people money. Not so much in government budget money, but in real people money, that's a lot. So what are they doing for us at $823 million a year? The CFPB was formed in 2011. In 2023, they put this report out. $17.5 billion is the amount of money the CFPB has put back in American pockets in the form of monetary compensation, returned to American consumers. In fact, the more recent numbers I saw was $21 billion. In 2023, they had imposed more than $4 billion in civil money penalties on companies and individuals that violate the law. And those numbers can't even take into consideration how much money American consumers didn't lose in the first place because of laws and regulations that they enforce. Companies afraid to take advantage of people for fear of retribution. And now, thanks to Trump, things like the CFPB's plan to save consumers $15 billion a year in overdraft fees is on hold. That's just per year, $15 billion that American consumers would not be paying out in predatory overdraft fees. That could go away because they're gutting the CFPB. But I feel someone like this would be like, hey, forget about that. Well, you're not even mentioning stuff like USAID. USAID's like a huge waste of money. Okay, let's talk about USAID. That makes up less than 1% of our national budget. That was a big waste of money, right? That's something we should do away with. It's going to suddenly somehow infuse a bunch of money back into America, right? That's Elon's motivation for going after USAID, right?
Mr. Talcove, do you know how many inspector generals at agencies that were investigating Elon Musk's companies have been fired by the Trump-Musk administration?
No.
It is 5. Ms. Royal, the inspector general at the Department of Labor had 17 open investigations into Tesla and SpaceX. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that inspector general?
No.
They fired him, and I think y'all know. Mr. Whitson, the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation was investigating Tesla. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
No.
They were fired. The Department of Defense's Inspector General was looking into SpaceX. Mr. Hedler, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was fired.
Thank you. I think everybody on the panel knows what the answer to these questions were. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Inspector General was investigating Musk's Neuralink. Mr. Talcove, now I'll ask you again under oath, do you know what Mr. Trump did to that Inspector General that was looking into one of Musk's companies?
No.
He was fired. The Inspector General at the EPA was repeatedly taking on Tesla. Mr. Hedler, since it seems that you're answering the questions that everyone knows the answer to, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was also fired.
Also fired.
Hey, remember when she was talking about weeding out corruption? It's funny to me that Elon Musk, first and foremost, went after all of these agencies that just coincidentally happened to be investigating him and possibly coming after him with fines and sanctions and who knows what else. And you can't even really argue that inefficiency is the focus, because one of the most inefficient corners of our government is the Pentagon. They've failed like their last 7 audits, yet somehow Doge seems to have no interest in the Pentagon. And listen, getting rid of something like USAID serves a dual purpose for him, because he's made it very clear that he genuinely looks at people in need as the parasite class. And it doesn't stop with USAID. There's going to be food stamps, Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid. He is the living embodiment of the old story of a banker, a blue-collar middle-class worker, and an immigrant are all sitting at a table, and there's 21 cookies on the table. And the banker reaches over and scoops up 20 of the cookies and then taps the middle-class worker on the arm and says, "Hey, man, you better be careful. That immigrant's going to steal your cookie." Elon Musk just wants all the cookies.